Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Alright, so I want to... This is one of my favorite generation... Actually, it is my favorite Generation 2 Pokemon. When I was a kid, I actually watched Pokemon 2000, where Lugia made its debut in America. And I loved its design. It looks like... loved its design, loved its role in the movie, and it just looks really cool. And Pokemon Silver was one of my favorite games back in the day, so Lugia is just absolutely amazing. And here we go, Lugia finally got its signature move for Pokemon Go, Aeroblast. Now, we'll go over Aeroblast stats later. Right now, I'm just going to go over Lugia's statistics. This is for Ultra League. So, Lugia in Ultra League is really interesting. As you see, Lugia qualifies for Great League, Ultra League, and Master League, but right now you can only, unless you get it traded to you from research and Elite TM it, you can't really get a Lugia right now for Great League. So I'm going to focus on Ultra and Master, and I'll do a Great League one later. So Ultra League Lugia is really interesting, I would say. The reason being is because there's a lot of things that check Lugia in Ultra League. It's insanely bulky, has a really high stat product. That's why it's really good. And because it has low attack, that means it maxes out fairly highly. However, the thing about Lugia is that there's a lot of things that check Lugia in Ultra League. It is good, but it's not, amazing. It's not like Cresselia, for when Cresselia got buffed, it literally broke the game. So we'll go more on that later. However, Lugia's weaknesses are Dark Electric, Ghost, Ice, and Rock. Where does these two typings come to mind? Oh yeah, Articuno and Giratina. Those things are very prominent in Ultra League. Along with that, a bunch of Pokemon do have rock moves. For example, Machamp has Rock Slide. Melmetal has Rock Slide. And it's just because of the coverage that a lot of Mons have against Lugia, it's just really dangerous to use. There's also Obstagoon. So Obstagoon's Night Slashes do chunk at you, so does Scizor. And it's just, like I said, it's just, there's a lot of things that haunt Lugia in the Ultra League. Addition to that, while it has many weaknesses, it also has some resistances. For example, it does resist grass types, so that rare Venusaur you see in Ultra League, not going to do much. Those drill runs from Excavalier, nope, no dice. Those fighting counters and those cross chops, dynamic punches, close combat, no matter what you get, the whole 9,000 yards from Machamp or fighters doesn't affect Lugia very much at all. In fact, it's double resistant. And those fellow psychic users like Cresselia itself, you also have Mewtwo Armored, and regular Mewtwo if you used it. They're also resisted in this league for Ultra. Now for Ultra, like I said, with Aeroblast, it really buffed Lugia, but let's just see how much. Now the con about Lugia is this. It is very expensive to power up. Along with that, unless you get one traded to you, you have to catch one from raids or research, like I said. And it's very difficult. It's in raids right now. But other than outside of the event right now, it's very difficult to obtain, especially a good IV one. Remember what I mentioned to you? It maxes, you could catch it around 2100, etc. So, as you see here, it maxed around on level 24, 23. So, still very expensive, just because of its second move. So, if you catch yours, it's going to be around, let's see, 21 to 40, 2115 is the level 21. Unless it's weather boosted, then it's 2645. In this case, you don't want a weather boosted one for Ultra because you need it under 2500 or even. So like I said, Lugia really cool, really powerful, and just really cool. And it has a really sweet shiny. Anyways, let's get to the rankings for Lugia in Ultra League. Alright, here's the rankings for Ultra League for Go Battle League. And this is Open Ultra. You can't use Lugia in Premier because it's a legendary. Anyways, Lugia ranks all the way down at number 17. This isn't bad, but this doesn't mean Lugia is ideal either. As you see, Lugia does beat Swampert and Cresselia. It also beats Excalibur and Obstagoon. Those are really relevant, not so much as Venusaur. However, you do lose against a bunch of things. Giratina, Togekiss, and since Articuno came out with Hurricane, I've seen a lot more of it, and Lapras. In other words, you see a lot of its losses, and it's a lot of wins. So, very 50-50, but it's still really strong. As you see, strongest in the lead and closer positions, and somewhat as a switch. Lugia as a lead ranks at number 22, so it's not high up there. However, you do beat, like I said, a few leads, and you also lose against a lot of them. And, like I said, lead and the closer is where Lugia shines. In the closer, Lugia ranks at number 13, taking on things like Swampert, Cresselia, Escavalier, Venusaur, and Charizard. However, it does lose against a lot of BBML choices. For example, Gira A, Togekiss, Melmetal, Alolan Muck, and Obstagoon take down Lugia in the closer. As a switch, I think it's where Lugia is actually in its best position. It ranks at number 7. Lucky number 7. And the reason being is because it actually beats Giratina. Beats Giratina, beats Swampert, and Cresselia. So it beats it actually beats the BBML. However, it's also the weaknesses, Melmetal, Charizard, Articuno. Melmetal sucks. Togekiss, that's not a really bad rating, but Articuno, Lapras, I've seen plenty of those, especially with Articuno being re-released and it having Hurricane. There's a lot more Articunos. So you don't want Lugia to go against Articuno. Lugia and Articuno, the matchup with Articuno being is just because they're both bulky, and Articuno does chunk with Ice Shard. And that's Lugia in this league. Lugia is very, very powerful. However, it doesn't exactly break the meta. It's not like when Cresselia was buffed, but it's still really good. Lugia can have play. And Lugia, if you use it well, can actually gain you a couple of Ws. Enter Lugia. Welcome to Lugia with Dragon Tail, Sky Attack, and Aeroblast. You want Dragon Tail because you need that to chunk down those dragons. And as you see here, I have Ultra League with Lugia. I have the Ultra League meta right here. And I already we popped the 2 shield. And here we go. As you see here, Lugia does loses against Articuno. Remember I mentioned Articuno lead? You don't want Articuno lead. That's a really bad rating. Abomasnow also takes you down. So does Charmers. As you see, both Togekiss and Clefable take down Lugia with 2 shields. It loses against Driplim as well as Empoleon, because Empoleon essentially walls you. It essentially walls you because of the steel typing. So you don't want steals. And as you see here, you do beat Dragon Breath Giratina Altered. However, it's the Shadow Claw version. You lose really hard because Giratina charges fast and Shadow Claw chunks because you're a Psychic type. You do beat Machops, you do beat Armored Mewtwo's, you lose against Amok, you beat Obstagoons, Polyrats, Swamperts, Toxicroak, Venusaur. So you beat a decent amount of things in regular Ultra League. However, the meta is against relevant meta, you lose a lot of relevant meta matchups. It's kind of like, I'd say like a 60-40. 60% you lose against like relevant meta, 40% you win. Like for example, you beat Cresselia, you also beat Escavaliers. You see a lot of those in Ultra League, and Gear A depending which version, and Machop. So you do win a few matchups. In the 1 shield, when we get to 1-1, in the 1 shields, it looks like you do lose against the same things. You do flip the Shadow Bomber matchup if you have that in the 1 shield versus with Lugia. And it doesn't look like you flip anything else. Let's see, you still lose against a lot of relevant meta picks. Oh, by the way, Registeel, I forgot to mention. Registeel is probably your worst nightmare because in any scenario, Registeel does wall you. Because Dragon Tail, Skydash, and Aeroblast are all resisted. So that means you die to every scenario. Just keep that in mind. Registeel is incredibly oppressive and it can wall Lugia. But as you see in the 1 shield, not much of a difference than the 2 shield. I'd say the only difference is you really just beat Abomasnow Shadow. So Shadow Bomber does still take your soul, or you beat it, but like in a 2 shield it takes your soul. In the closer is when I think Lugia is the strongest because you can actually fire that Aeroblast off to KO. As you see here, you win a horde of matchups with that. You still lose against relevant matchups. For example, you lose against Registeel, you lose against Togekiss, you lose against like pretty much all steel types, even Empoleon. So you lose against Empoleon, you lose against Melmetal, and ice types chunk you. So you lose against Lapras, you even lose against Articuno still in the zeros. Now, up a shield is where it might get interesting. If you manage to leave Lugia with a shield, you beat everything but Giratina A with Shadow Claw, and it looks like Steel type. So as long as it's not Melmetal, Giratina, or Registeel, if you're up a shield, it looks like you beat the entire meta. So Lugia, it looks like in order to be effective, Lugia's best with shield advantage and in a closer. In the 2 shield, I think Lugia wins against everything but Steel typings. Yes. Actually, you beat Melmetal. So you can beat Melmetal up 2 shields. The keyword is up 2 shields. You need 2 shields to beat Melmetal. Otherwise, you lose against everything. Registeel still walls you, even though you're up 2 shields. So just keep that in mind. This is a very dangerous matchup. If you get locked against Registeel, it's unless you get the boost, it's probably gonna be really hard to come back from. And in the 2-to-1s, Lugia still loses against Registeel, Togekiss, Lapras, Empoleon, Drifblim. Let's see, where do we get? No, you still lose against Ice types. You still lose against Clefable. Let's see. No, you still lose against a lot of things. So I'd just be careful. Yeah, I'd be really careful, because even though you have shield advantage, I'd just be really careful, because you still lose. You still lose a lot. Yeah, you still lost. Like I said, Registeel, Togekiss, you still lose a lot of relevant matchups. Alright, just in case you guys were wondering, so for PvP, Aeroblast Lugia was actually nerfed from 180 to 170. This doesn't seem like a big deal, however, that last piece of 10 damage really does matter. So in this scenario where an attack has like a ton of closing, and like it takes a ton of energy to close with it, it really hurt, because I believe Lugia was jotted down a few ranks, and this doesn't give it as much closing potential as it normally could. Sadly, that's just Lugia in a nutshell. If you look at multi-battle, Lugia, even though like I love Lugia, but I only rate it a 6 out of 10. I want to rate it higher. Trust me, I really do. But with that nerf, it hurt it a lot, especially for Master League. And Ultra League too, to be honest with you. As you see, it only wins 60% of matchups in the 2s. If we go to the 1s, Lugia does get a little better, but even then, 69%, that's a huge jump, but still, like 69%. Just to put in perspective, here's Lugia, and then here's Cresselia. So that's the ones with Lugia. Here's Cresselia. Now, it doesn't seem like it's fair to put that, but when Cresselia got buffed, 81%. That's huge. So 81 versus 69 in the 1s. And in the 2s, it even gets there. So that's just it. Lugia is expensive. Unfortunately, 12% more. That's a lot. Lugia is expensive. It's a fan favorite for sure. However, even with Dragon Tail and Aeroblast being nerfed, unfortunately, it hurts Lugia a lot. Lugia's best position is likely in the closer, where Aeroblast can go to town. As you see here, that's the highest percentage it's at, or you give it shields. That's what sucks. I think Lugia, I love it. It's really good, but unfortunately for Go Battle League, I have to give it a 6. It doesn't break the meta. That's 1. 2, even though it's really high on stats, it doesn't dominate a lot of matchups. And a lot of things it loses against, like Articuno, Lapras, Gira A, those are just really available. And Togekiss. Lugia loses against Togekiss too. There's just not a lot of scenarios where a move with Lugia, like with Aeroblast, with such high energy, will thrive in Ultra League. Again, I'll be doing the rest of the leagues with Lugia, you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck on your Lugia hunt. Just because it's not great for Ultra League doesn't mean it might not be in the future. So make sure you hunt down Lugias. Good luck. Hope you get your hundo. Hope you get your shundo. I hope you get your good one for Ultra League. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next video.